Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Yep, we're back on the Belvedere, man. Some parts have finally been delivered. One issue I have been having is the fuel gauge does not work. Fuse is good. I have powered back to the sending unit in the tank. Yes, there is gas in the tank. Ground is good. Everything is good. Continuity back there is perfect. Um, there's only one thing left to do, man, and that is to drain the tank, which is going to suck because I think I put like 10 gallons in to see if the gas gauge even move. And we got ourselves a new sending unit that finally came in yesterday. Now, I already did order a new sending unit for this car for a 66 Belvedere. Now, I got this off of eBay. It was probably, I don't know, 70, 80 bucks delivered. Came in a couple days. Like I said before, I've already checked the connections in the back of the dashboard. There's no mice, nothing like that had gotten in there. So the only thing I can think of it being is there's resistor here inside. It gets a signal to the unit, sends signal back to the gauge, telling you how much gas you have by this little float. So I know I have power going back to the original unit in the tank now. So I'm going to assume it's this culprit right here, this resistor. Now, you can take these apart, you can clean them up, and sometimes you can get them work again. But for the cost of what this is, and for the sake of going through raising up the car, sometimes you have to drop the tank, sometimes you get lucky, you don't have to. If you're going to yank this out to even go that far to clean this up, try to keep it, you might as well throw a new one in there. Especially on a car this old, for as affordable as they are, and if that is something that you are capable of doing. This one here won't be too bad because I know the way that this tank is sitting. This unit is sitting like this on the side. Some of them sit up top, some of them sit on the side. Well, this one is sitting right on the back side of the gas tank. So hopefully I can get all this gas drained out, raise the car up, get it to where the tank is at an angle, go ahead and turn this seal, this lock ring off with a new gasket, pop that off, slide this out. And I'm going to assume that I'm going to find out that the original pickup screen, the filter is going to be kind of crusty, kind of dry, probably fall apart in my hand. I don't know. We're going to find out what we're going to find out. But like I said, for as affordable as these are, if it's something that you're capable of doing, like I said, you can watch this video or other videos on how to change these out. They're fairly easy if you don't mind the smell of fuel. So make sure your garage is well ventilated. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and start draining this fuel out of this tank and pull this puppy out. And hopefully this is what it is. All right, as you can see, I've already got one 5-gallon jug out of the car. Got a little 2-gallon here. I'm filling up second can now. I did put my camera inside. She is a pretty little over half full. So yeah, this is going to take a while. This here, a lot of guys can just stick a hose in the tank and suck it out and get it, and get your fuel to come out. I don't like the taste of gasoline in my mouth. Some guys do. Now this here, I just picked up a little siphon from Harbor Freight. It was like $4. Just stick it in the hole, squeeze a few times, and boom, you got fuel. I'm going to go ahead and continue to drain this tank. And after that, we're going to put this thing up on jack stands. Nice thing about this is that everything underneath the car is not rusty. The tank is not rusty. The ring that seals the unit in is not rusty. So everything should theoretically come apart pretty easy. But we're going to go ahead and keep on draining this tank out, and we'll get back to raising the car up. Now, the nice thing about this car is, or this fuel tank is, the way it's sitting, that the sending unit is towards the front. It's on the front half of the tank. So I'm really hoping I don't have to pull this tank or drop this tank to get this unit out of there. Everything is, right up above the axle. It's right in the guy's, right in his eyes, so I can see it. I can get in there. I'm just really hoping this comes out in one piece. But yeah, we're still sitting here draining fuel. Like I said, I put 10 gallons of gas into this car. There was already fuel in it. I didn't know how much was in it in the beginning because, I assumed that it was empty because the gauge didn't work. So I went ahead and threw 10 bucks into it. So I got good gas on top of bad gas, and it's not looking good, but it's gas nonetheless. But we're going to still continue to drain this thing out. I'm really hoping it comes apart easy. I hope it doesn't fight me, man. Anyone that's ever done this, drop the tank, deal with fuel, no smoking, no flames, don't build a fire, keep the garage or your area ventilated. You don't want those fumes in there. I know it goes back to me painting a car with a bandana on, but like I said, my videos are not for educational purposes. I'm just showing you how I do things. But I do protect myself when it comes to dealing with flammable substances. Well, that took a little while to do, but I guess there's more fuel in this tank than I thought there was. Almost over 15 gallons of gas in this tank. I'm going to assume it's a 20-gallon tank in this thing. Yeah, fuel's out. We're going to raise this thing up, get it up on jack stands, and pull this unit out, guys. All right, as you can see, we are under the car. Jack stands are supporting the rear of the car, and it looks like we are going to have to drop this tank. I don't want to drop the tank, but you can't see it, but that setting unit is right up there. I'm going to see if I can't get in here and get you guys a better shot, but I figured I'd take a second and show you these guys' floorboards. 66 Belvedere. Look how clean these floors are, man. Look at that. Original true dual exhaust. No wide pipe. This car is in such good shape, and I truly believe it only has 31,000 miles on it. All right, let's get back to this setting unit. Now, as you can see, I've already disconnected the fuel line, the main feed, and the power wire, which is right here. Now, I probably could turn this lock ring, and slide this unit out, but I got the axle right here. I think I'm gonna be fighting it, so I'm gonna go ahead, being that this tank is so clean and so in good shape, we're gonna go ahead and drop this tank to the ground. That way we can get our eyes right on what we're doing. That way we can check inside the camera, see if there's any rust or anything in the tank, which I don't assume there's gonna be, but let's get this tank down. All right, we got the tank out. That wasn't too bad. Had to disconnect the main feed line, the vent line, and only had one strap, which wasn't rusty, which is nice. And the more I look at this, man, guys, have you ever seen a gas tank that's 58 years old that's still in this good of shape? I am blown away at how clean this tank is. It's original, guys. I'm going to say it's original. And judging by this, how clean this is, a guy has to wonder if that's even bad. But again, it's been sitting in there probably 58 years. Who knows what that resistor looks like, or that unit setting unit looks like in there, if that screen or that sock is all dry rotted and falling apart like potato chips. We're going to go ahead and get this ring off and pull this unit out. Now, I've already gone and cleaned this off, with some debris. I took a wire brush to it to get any kind of dirt off, contaminants on there. When I pull this out, I don't want a bunch of junk falling in there. Granted, the screen and the filter will catch it, but I don't want any of that crap in there, so I'm gonna spray this off real quick. Now this ring here, you just tap it with the screwdriver, something flat, and you just go around until it loosens up. That ring is just about off. There it is. Again, spray off any debris you got sitting there. You want no debris going in there. Clean that off a little bit more. Man, I still can't believe how clean this is. Man, it's just amazing to me. All right, we're gonna pull this out. See what it looks like. Well, look at that. Damn thing looks brand new. Screen is actually pretty good too. Wow, guys, check that out. That's amazing. But we're gonna test and see if we got any power to this old resistor. All right, well, I figure out while I have the unit out, I'm going to take my camera here, and we're going to look inside this tank and see what it looks like in there. Not sure how well you can see that, but look at that. That's the bottom one right there. That is one clean clean tank. Sorry about the glare. I'm not sure if you can see that, but wow. A little bit of debris, not too much, but look how clean the bottom of that tank is. All right, so we got a really nice tank here. So we're gonna go ahead and test this, see if this resistor even works. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and test both of these for ohm these out, see what kind of power they're getting, see if they're even working. I'm gonna test the old one first. Yeah, the old one is good. New one is the same. So yeah, these are both good units. But I'm at a crossroads because I don't know if I should go ahead and throw the new one in or put the old one back in. Now the new one obviously has a smaller pickup and a screen, and it has a plastic float, to where the original one has a nice brass float, which I can tell I don't hear any fluid in it, so it's not leaking, and a nice big screen. Now I did put this up against the light and you can see through it, so it's not clogged. I am quite surprised that this is in such good shape for the age of the car. I am going to venture to, say, 60-40, this may have been replaced at one time, I'm not sure, but then again, looking at the condition of the gas tank, the mileage of the car, the condition of the car, I'm leaning towards this being original. I am going to throw this one back in. I'm going to end up changing this gasket because I can see that it's all cracked up in here, so I do have a new one with the new unit. So yeah, we're going to throw this back in, throw it back up in there, and we're going to have to look elsewhere. Like I said, I have power to this from the dashboard, from the fuse panel, so it may just be the gauge on the dash, and if that is the case, then I do have an aftermarket fuel gauge I could set up with the vehicle, although I'd rather have the original one working. All right, we have the send unit installed back in the tank with a new gasket or O-ring, and we're about ready to slide this thing back underneath the car and put it back up. All right, I'm about ready to put this tank back up in here, but I do want to say these Dodges, 60s, 70s Dodges had this ground strap. Now, I did notice that this ground strap was disconnected. This completes the circuit to the gauge, which goes to the back of the dash, which goes to a voltage limiter, and that too. The voltage limiter could be bad. I have seen those go bad. Usually when the voltage limiter goes bad, they just overheat, they die, and you're empty all the time, or it's stuck on full. So we know the setting unit in the tank is good. We're gonna put the tank back up here. We're gonna clean up this ground strap, make sure we're making a good connection. We know we have power here, and we're going to go ahead and check that voltage limiter behind the dashboard as well. All right, guys, tank is back up in the car. Lines are all tight, everything is good up under there. We have power to and fro the dash. Let's see if this gauge works. Could it have been as simple as that ground strap? Ignition on. Oh, look at that, it's moving. I did put that 10 bucks back in, or 15 bucks that was in it back in. Yeah, well, we have a working gas gauge. Man, look at that. It was as simple as the ground strap. All right, guys, that'll do it, man. That's a win. We have a gas gauge that works great. And I bet if you go in the back of this video, you'll end up seeing that little ground strap was off. That's all it was. I think it was just a ground strap, but a guy wants to make sure. And it wasn't that difficult to drop this tank anyway. The strap was good. The tank was in great shape. Everything came down real easy, went back up real easy. I wanted to make sure that pickup screen wasn't all dried up and crusty, falling apart. And plus check that brass float, which was really good. And as you saw, the inside of that tank is gorgeous. It's like brand new. 58 years old, 31,000 miles. There's not gonna be a whole heck of a lot wrong with this car, but it's clean. You saw the floorboards, and this thing is just clean. So now we're more or less just working on the dumb stuff, trying to figure out why it doesn't have reverse lights. That could be bulbs, that could be a ground. It doesn't have dashboard lights. That could be the switch, the headlight switch, which we do have. Or it could be the switch inside the steering column. We'll end up moving into that and figuring that problem out too. But as I said, have it sitting up here on jack stands, I started playing with that front end a little bit. I noticed I have a puddle of brake or power steering fluid on the ground. So the power steering pump leaks. It could be a hose, it could be the reservoir, who knows? We'll look into that in the next episode. Plus I also noticed that the inner and outer tie rods were loose. One of the upper ball joints on one side was bad, and one of the lower ball joints on the other side was bad. So we're going to go ahead and order up some upper lower ball joints for this, inner and outer tie rods, and we're going to end up rebuilding this whole front end because this thing runs really good, man. I also am going to pick up a set of shocks for the back of it because the back shocks are original and they're cheap. eBay, Amazon, guys. But the front shocks are good. Next weekend, we are going on another adventure. I got a surprise, guys. We're heading out of town for a day or two. Like I said, this channel is not just for working on cars or just taking adventures. It could be anything on this channel. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you, man. I appreciate you. If you're a new subscriber, again, thank you for being here. I'm going after that 500 subscriber mark. Like, share, subscribe. If you like my content, if you like seeing me, you like seeing what I do, my crazy in and out cars, traveling, whatever I'm doing from day to day, hit that notification bell, bing, and then you'll know when something comes up from me. But that's going to do it, guys. Fuel gauge works. That's a bonus. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you next time on Adventures Bound. Peace.